recently we did a demo review of the 16-year-old prodigy Sizzy and how he destroyed M80 on Inferno in order to go 3-0 in the opening stages of the Cologne Major. Today, we're going to watch what he can do when his back is against the wall, down 0-1 in a series against Big Clan to qualify for Stage 3. You are a 16-year-old qualifying for Stage 3 of a major. What are you going to do to put the team on your back and really activate? We're just going to break down to see what he was doing on the CT side specifically. I want to get inspiration. If you're an opera out there, this can be a beautiful demo for you to watch. Really good stuff to learn from. Now, one thing I'm a little confused about early on in this pistol is why Sizzy wouldn't want to come up here and just get info. You think that if he's playing passive, cool, but why not come up here and just listen early to see if anyone's running up here, running through con, making noise? That's the first thing I noticed I'm a little confused about. Maybe it's like a tier 1 thing where he doesn't want to give away their setup, so he's just going to play passive. It's a really good angle. Like, this is fine. You do eventually have to worry about the con split coming up here, though. That's the one thing I'm a little nervous about for him. Also, you're giving up so much long space, but it's a good initial place to be in. He eventually gets the info, can relay that to the team, and you see instantly what's happening here is his teammate's going to rotate up and help him, right? Fight off him. So he's going to tuck in here, and this is really good too because MPL can jump spot and also have the ability to flash long if needed for Sizzy if he spots somebody coming up here. So I don't mind this at all, and it looks like they're even going to have a third guy rotate over here, Kenzazor. So yeah, they slide in. Unfortunately, it's going to be the wrong read, but Kenzie actually decides to come back. They kind of get info, they understand what's happening, and Sizzy's going to be the last guy kind of straggling here. Cool. We get a lot of kills, nothing crazy. Sizzy's going to come fight through the smoke here. He doesn't want to leave his teammates out to dry. Locks in, gets the kill. Even fights here. He's going to reload. And guys, there's always something you can do. There's always something you can do. When you're reloading, why not jump around and go crazy? Look at this from BlameF's POV. These are the small details that make pros so great. Even when you catch them off guard, even when you have them out to dry, it's hard to kill them. Man, that's so frustrating. From round 1, that's so frustrating to not be able to get that kill. The dude's just jumping all around, going crazy mode on it. He's going to go ahead and get himself an SMG here. It's huge that Big didn't get a bomb plant, so that means they're most likely going to be on save here in the Mines of Bait. He actually doesn't buy much util so that he can get this up earlier. And again, you can get away with these ego plays a little bit more when you don't give up that bomb plant because you know that the other team is not going to be on a good buy. If they had given up bomb plant, you already know going into this round, he's going to buy everything that he can. Kind of skip through here a little bit. And I just want to say, guys, if you're not subscribed to this channel, like 90% of my viewers, do me a favor right now and hit that subscribe button. Join the club out here as we try to become the best CS players possible. We break down these games every single day. And we also do co-stream the major live every single day as well. So if you want to watch the major, get tactical breakdowns, laugh, cry, have a good time. My community over on Twitch is absolutely the place to be. So this is a good util set. I want all of you guys to copy. If you're trying to play high level overpass, you got to throw this. While you're coming out here, it looks like his lineup, he's looking at that crane as he walks up here. And he's going to jump throw it with maybe, is that a middle click? Yeah, it looks like a middle click jump throw. And then he's going to left click this right here. Boom. Get into a server, practice that because you have to know some variation of that if you want to play at a high level. And they're actually going to get into a 3A setup here. I'm surprised he's playing so passive with a 3A setup. And maybe it's because MPL and Kenzazor are doing something so aggressive out here. So they're pushing in theory or about to. So Sizzy's just going to clean up anything that spills out through here when the T side kind of understands what's happening. So yeah, I assume that's the reasoning here. They're actually going to play just contact. They're going to wait for Big to flash out long. And yeah, so Sizzy needs to back up here because con is an option. The beauty of this line is you kind of merge the angles. If they come out fountain and walk through here, it's the same line that they're going to peek you from con essentially. So you kind of merge in. There is a bathroom gap that you have to eventually be aware of. Luckily at Sizzy's level, they're going to throw nades. They're generally going to smoke things off. So he's not too concerned, but he's always going to make sure he covers his base, right? He's going to make sure that he's searching in here and cutting down the amount of timings that could be opening up as much as possible. And this play is actually really risky because if Big throw a flash out here, it could absolutely destroy him with his open positioning. So you saw in the Inferno demo we did with him against M80, he does get caught out in the open quite a bit. He's still refining that. He's still like making a lot of mistakes in that sense. Sometimes he goes too crazy. So he's just doing a lot of the heavy lifting positionally. These guys out here don't really have to worry about their setup because Sizzy's got a lot of like good space he's holding here. He's very sufficient. When your opera is able to just lock down space, your teammates get to do whatever they want essentially because they're not worried about helping you. And this is just amazing. Like, this is what I mean. MPL is just going crazy out here then. He just takes the timing. It's 48 seconds in the round and Big have no control other than short B, and he's just taking a timing, fighting in here. And with 44 seconds, he is smoking this off. 44 seconds. This is what they are fighting for. That's insane. At 44 seconds in every other round, you would assume the T's have all this control. Like, the CTs should not own this space, right? So incredible. And what that's going to do, by the way, if he doesn't get all these kills, that's just going to funnel them into Sizzy or down to B, which, you know, you could argue maybe would not be the best because of the setup they have here. But man, it's just such an ego play. Such an ego play. And again, he's just holding for the reaction, jump spotting every once in a while. So hold the close angle, make sure you don't get timing by the jump spot. You play simple, you win this round at this point. Do not allow any timings to open up here. Yeah, and it's pretty simple at this point. Teammates are going to wipe up and he doesn't have to do anything. Now, he has a front spawn here. Let's see what he does with this. Is he just going to throw the nade sets? So he's just going to throw the molly this time. Okay. He holds a flash in case MPL needs a flash. It's a little bit of fake info. Flash isn't just post. So this time they are in a 2A setup. He's kind of giving the gap up here in party again, or the long gap. Like, nobody's really thinking about this. So these type of things are stuff he's definitely got in the back of his head. But he's just chilling. He's doing his thing. Okay, teammate walks back while he's still posted. He's confident. Doesn't have to think about on too much. Hits a nice shot and instantly falls. Doesn't get greedy. Does not get greedy. He knows they're on eco. The worst thing he could ever do is die up here in this space. Give them an op that they can start using to pin people down on site. You as oppers have much more responsibility in these type of rounds to not throw. Everyone does, but especially the opper. Oh my goodness. You could just lose the round for your team if you don't play properly. Again, really risky where he could just get timing by somebody. He does block them off, but if Big were willing to just walk through some of these smokes, he's kind of cooked. This is a shot, but it perfectly goes right back into the setup. Now he's going to throw a nade and oh my goodness. Dude, he's going crazy. He's going Sizzy mode. I actually do think that this kid has the most potential to turn into a simple kind of opper, where maybe it's not the smartest decision to be sitting out here and swinging with a USP, just going for quick shots and quick little flicks. But if you have the confidence and you just apply that pressure, sometimes you're just too good for the other team, right? That's not a setup I would necessarily replicate with your teammates. Again, that could go wrong in so many ways. If they just pop up through here, if they caught a timing in long, you know, it just could go wrong in so many ways, but ultimately it works out for them and they get another round on the board. Oh, I love this. He's going to start B this round. He is going to start B. Where does he go? Which, hey, this actually is a cool little tip. Guys, when you're coming out through here, if you land on this tire, you take 0 damage. All my higher level players know this already, but for those of you that are lower elo, I see you doing this wrong all the time. Land on that tire. You're chilling. So he's instantly going to post here. This might be a read, but also could just be a comfort pick he goes for. One thing you need to be very careful of is if the T side comes out here and does this boost, you are absolutely cooked. So just keep in mind that is a possibility. That's probably why he's going to shift over here. Guarantee you that's why he's shifting over here. Now you can't be seen from that boost position. So this is a safer mid-round angle. You can go for this early round though. Oh my goodness. No way. And again, this is not traditional opping in any sense. What the heck? This is so one and done. So you would play here when you assume the T side's just going to walk into tunnels or vice versa. They're going to walk out. Now, he does have one saving grace here where he has util. So if he takes a shot, he can smoke off. The checkmate to this type of play, though, is if they double swing. If they just get over here, walk down, and then 2-man flash out and peek, even if he gets one, he's dead every single time. There's no player that can really play off of him. And this is the type of CS that they get away with in stage 1 and 2. But I think when they go to stage 3, they're going to get cooked by Vitality, by Falcons, these type of players. Oh, but it's got to be so annoying. Like that's got to be so frustrating. And actually, like in hindsight, like this is something he's going to review as well. If they're walking back like this, you don't know if this is the first people or the last people coming back. So he actually almost gets away with murder here. Really. Gets that kill. He strafes out here, hits a really good strafe, but just goes right back. If he would have taken that shot and strafe out here, he's actually probably good. He gets out. He survives. And Big is just so frustrated. Now, Big are going to be frustrated because they ended up choking that round anyways. So it's unlucky. Yeah, a little bit of scuffed movement, but it happens, especially in such a high pressure game. Oh my goodness. Now this is just a good movement set that you can go for. He kind of chills here early, does this thing. I'm not sure why he starts over here even, but it doesn't matter. He's going to post up on top of this. Teammate gets an early kill. He's holding the long range angles. MPL's listening. That's an important part with this. They are not together, which again is not recommended. Like I don't think this is necessarily a great setup to copy. But what MPL 100% is going to say is if he starts hearing noise up here, he's just letting Sizzy know. And I'm going to assume that Sizzy is on a time clock here where he's eventually going to fall back based on what MPL does here. Oh my goodness, super risky from MPL. And he just parks himself in here. I mean, the risk pays off in this case. And there it is. Yeah, Sizzy knows, because they could be walking up front bath here, going into these positions up here quietly, that he needs to just fall back and play passive. His teammate is in a checkmate spot. Don't do too much now and we win the round. Don't do too much and we win. You see, he's just dropping util. His teammate actually gets the kill. It's creating a lot of chaos. And he's just going to oscillate. He's going to fight between the two angles here. And his teammate's actually baiting for him. Look, his teammate's jump spotting. And Sizzy is going to op like simple if his teammate spots any contact, so they can play off each other really well. I just realized when I start referencing opping like simple and these type of things, the new gen players are not going to understand as much as the old gen what I mean by that. They're going to be like, opping like simple? That guy sucks. Oh, shoot, man. Oh, shoot. It's just funny because you don't see Zaiwu playing like this. You don't see, like, it's just so fun to watch the different play styles and influences these players have on their game. So again, he's just going to go up here into his comfort spot. He's just chilling, doing his thing. But this time, he's just egoing. He's just, the whole time, he could be getting walked up here, but he doesn't care. I think there was a lot of pressure early on B side. So he kind of understands it's a B default. He's not too worried. Oh, and he gets timing super hard here, but actually falls off. So don't tell me he repeaks this. Don't tell me. Dude, the ego on this kid. He even jump shots. That's very intentional. That's very intentional. That last jump shot there does a lot of heavy lifting. So again, like maybe an ego fight, whatever. Jumps, doesn't see anybody close, so that's going to tell him kind of what Big are doing. If he sees like two guys out here trying to trade instantly, he knows it's a heavy A default. If nobody, in his mind, nobody's there at that point. He assumes one person just flashed back here, and it's very light A, right? Which, let's see where he rotates. He might actually rotate B off of that. Yeah, okay, so he's just going to play passive and jump spot. Again, make sure he doesn't get timinged. He does love going to this position, which can get tricky if you're trying to replicate it. I think he did have a rotator coming up, though. Yeah, he had Kenzie that was coming up here to help him if needed. But yeah, let's see some good retake opping now. He's going to have a lot asked of him here. 3v4 retake. What does he do? Not into a 3v3. Oh, dude, smooth. Smooth operator. Oh, okay. So he knows where both of them are at this point. He heard like that util. He knows somebody's in pit, and then he just heard JDC make noise in short. So he knows the pieces of the puzzle at this point. So why that's what he's doing this, by the way. He is doing this because he knows that he can isolate the fight on the guy pit. I assume at this high level, he also understands bomb is going to be either on Tabson if he saw that info from a teammate, or somewhere on site. JDC wouldn't have bomb just randomly coming through con. He heard the door there. So that actually is when he starts making this play. Gets out here to try to isolate the guy in pit. Really, really cool to see. Really cool. And then, dude, when you're good, you're good. I mean, I'll play this at full speed. Look how he's getting blinded. He's getting flashed. And the composure, like that's the composure of a veteran right there, honestly. Now, what's that nade? That nade is not to damage anybody. That nade is to make JDC think he's peeking. Because pros will do that. You saw in the last demo review we did of Nitro on NRG where they throw a nade off the wall. It explodes, putting a lot of debris in the air, making them think. So now JDC's like, oh yeah, he's going to peek me. He's going to peek me. Nope. Sizzy's just playing passive now. He understands with that kill, bomb is down in a really awkward spot, and he's going to make JDC do the work with low time. Now, JDC throws a really good smoke here, forcing Sizzy to kind of get out in the open. And this actually isolates a fight for JDC, but again, when you're good, you're good. So boom, perfect isolated fight there. Kenzazor is doing way too much, peeking too aggressively, and again, let's watch from Sizzy. I mean, he's quick. He's quick. Again, at 16 years old, going through to stage 3 at the major is just unbelievable. Just unbelievable, man. So again, he's going to throw this util set. And do you notice how they're always going to keep the molly on Sizzy? Because they need the molly more on A side because it spreads much more out here. That's more important than having a molly for Monster. You obviously want it for both of them, right? But this is a tiny little choke point. A CT Incendiary will do just fine. Versus that bigger area on A site, you need that. You need the T-Molly. You need it. Okay, so B-Rush is coming in here. He's going to rotate down. I'm a little surprised he doesn't throw flashes. You'll see a lot of players throw rotation flashes that help this guy in pit. Yeah, what the heck? I feel like, dude, that would have helped out. Okay, so Kenzazor does, but Sizzy does. I don't know why Sizzy doesn't. I actually want to steal this line. I want to see exactly how he's doing it. Okay, so he just chucks it down there. Let's see. Is that effective? Oh, it's too far. No, 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 no. That's horrible. That actually blinds your teammate in pit. That is horrible. Yeah, do not take that one. You actually want it to slide. Like, you don't want it to go as far. You could left click and then start holding right click because you want that thing to pop right here. That, or like even down here if you can get it. Like, that's a perfect pop because it blinds these guys. So that's actually a really bad piece of util. It might have blinded Essential. Sorry, I just want to see. Oh, wait, is that... Kenzor throws his flash. Yeah, kind of. It doesn't actually blind him, but it kind of flusters him a little bit. So Sizzy knows one's pit. So with the trajectory of that smoke, he knows someone's underneath him. Okay. So he's gonna throw an HE grenade. Honestly, not a bad nade, like, idea with it. Not a bad idea. Doesn't do a ton of damage. He's thinking about the lurk because he's wondering why bomb hasn't gone down. So that's what he's thinking. Okay, he's posted. He's just looking for the common pre-angle positions. He's gonna hard peek this one because a lot of people play there. Jump spot for info as well. Lob a flash shot. That's such a good flash. That is such a good flash. And sadly, someone is playing anti-flash and they just peek off of it. But I love the idea there. Flash just comes in, blinding anybody that would be holding you, right? Forcing them to have to move. So, good idea. And actually, big call timeout. Wow. Same nade set Sizzy's going to throw. And one thing I'm going to note that actually surprises me is he's never going for picks up here. He's never going for aggressive picks. He's actually just playing back in this area a lot. Like, this is his comfort zone back here. And you as an opera, you always need to figure out where you perform the best and try to put yourself in those situations the most. Every player has a different play style, so craft your game and figure out where you want to be. Okay, so he has that's a cool little flash he has for his teammate there. It doesn't actually end up mattering at all because while this is all happening, MPL is being a menace again and just peeking before all the util. Again, Vitality, Na'Vi, Spirit, I think destroy these guys because they're peeking like this. But against these teams, they can disrespect. Them actually just ego peeking, knowing util is going to come in after, kind of powers them up and catches these teams off because they're like, why are they peeking? Why are they peeking before any of this comes in? They're just dry swinging me. But this is what they get away with when they can like have players next to them have the ability to run good setups, right? Like they always have a next wave of defense. Because while this is happening, by the way, their B players are just tucking. They're not doing anything. Aggression on A, tucking on B. And now your opera is going to get really active once again just to condition this. The whole point of putting your opera here and these type of rounds is so that you don't have to worry about a monster lurk because that's the counter. If a guy is walking out monster a lot, put your opera in one of these spots and then you destroy him from the rip and now he's not going to walk out until he hears an op shot on A. So maybe that's also why he's not going aggressive because he doesn't want to give away the position of the op so that they don't know where he is, thus meaning he gets more picks because they have no clue on his pathing. I will say you can get away with this angle a lot more in like 3v5s, 2v4s, stuff like that because there's less bodies that will go monster on you. So a lot of times you can just catch the one guy off. But yeah, so we're just going to speed through here. They end up saving. Nothing crazy happens. Just a really good CS from Sizzy, honestly. Really, really good CS. I'm impressed. He's going to start B again this round. Huh, okay. So very, very non-traditional opping. And because of that, look at this. This is actually a play big run to punish the B players. This is exactly what I mean. You put your opera in a position to succeed and he's ready for the exact play that they're running. This play by Big is meant to punish the B guys and instead they get punished by the opera. It's crazy. Bang. What? Oh, dude, opera B, opera B. And again, most operas would run away at that point. No, he wants more. He's hungry. He smells blood in the water. Oh, are they going to boost? By the way, look, you got to do this boost exactly like they're doing it. So one guy's going to get on this side of sandbags. And let's look where Sizzy's actually going to position himself. They don't do it actually as effectively. Never mind. They don't do it as effectively as they should. It should be the opposite where one guy's crouching over here. Or no, you're standing next to him. He jumps here, jumps up. So he's hidden by this. And then peaks, but it's fine. They get away with it. Definitely could have optimized that, I guess. But he's always thinking about ways to set his teammates up, which I respect the heck out of him. We are kind of hard on Sizzy when we're watching him on the co-stream, but it's funny because we saw from the Inferno demo review, this kid has so much value outside of just shooting. He's boosting, he's flashing, he's giving his teammates space, right? Like he's not an opera that's very greedy, generally. Like he has so much value for his squad. Just faking some presence early, keeping Big back. Big back, get it? Yeah, I don't know why they're not throwing the smoke though. So I think it's just because Big hasn't forced them to actually do anything. And they don't, like, Big hasn't shown anything crazy, so they actually want them to come into here. Like, they want them to run in. I think Beta, like, these guys suck so bad right now that we don't have to do this, which kind of makes sense with the interview that Alex gave after the game. He literally straight up said, oh, yeah, we're better than Big. We don't care. Crazy. You take a team to 3 maps, barely beat them, but yeah, we don't respect them. You see, he's just posting. He's just doing his thing. I'm sure he feels on top of the world right now. Like, man, it's good. One setup that's really nice, though, I want to point out here is this double lung setup. MPL, he's self-sufficient by, you know, right there in that spot. But Sizzy always has the opportunity from Dice or this long, like, Flowers position to swing out and trade, bait for him, vice versa. Like, there's so much value. This is just a great little setup you can run. Also, if they start running up Sands on Sizzy, MPL is in a position to lurk around instantly and come through here. Or, you know, he can obviously just come back and support Sizzy if needed. He has flashes as well. There's so much potential with the setup. No. There's no way he just collided them. He's even out in the open. He don't care. What just happened? What just happened? Did you guys blink? Did you miss that? He got a collateral here. He collided them. Wow, the pre-aim, man. Just constantly bouncing around, moving back and forth. It's so fun to watch, man. Wow, dude. What a highlight from him. What a highlight. The kid's insane. I'm saying he has a lot of potential. He just needs to get some experience. This is his first ever HLTV team, by the way. Can you imagine if your first ever HLTV team, you're already in stage 3 of the major? Like, who is this kid? I think he's been one of my favorite players to watch at the major, unironically. I'm going to be sad if they get out. Nice. Good shot. Oh my goodness. Dude, pulls out the deagle. What the? Dude, he's just DMing at this point. He's like actually in matchmaking at this point, bro. Means safety, right? This is safety right here. Out here is danger. This is the danger zone. Really good setup. It buys time for the rotates to come in. Cool concept right there. And Sizzy, he knows how to blow up in smokes. I want to point out the difference. This kid knows even more than his own teammate. Kenzazor is going to throw this and it's going to bounce like 3 times because he just right clicks it. Bad. Horrible nade. Horrible. Right click. Start holding left click to loop it in the air. Loop that thing. So it just goes bang. Bust it open. Kenzazor nade 1, 2, 3. Sizzy's nade 0 bounces. Just bang. Just busts it open. Boom, look at that. Such high IQ, man. This kid has even more potential than the teammates on his squad. He really is a prodigy, man. Wow. And what a half. For today, we are just going to watch the CT side. I wanted to give a little bit of a sneak peek into how he was able to go 19-2. That is unbelievable. That is unreal. Let me know down below in the comments who you guys would like me to review next. I love doing these reviews for you. I think we learned so much. So shout out to all the homies watching the videos. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.